All right, in this video, I'm going to do a kills and death leaderboard for explosions. So I need to actually record an area of effect, right? So I'm getting credit for multiple zombies based on my explosion. Here we got another one over here. Boom. There we go. And it'll work for players too. So I can blow myself up. Boom. But I'll get a death too. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm not going to start from a fresh world. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my last video. If you don't have it, I'll put the link in the description. I just needed something with explosions, some sort of mechanism in place. So I'll put this link in there. You click on it, go to these three dots, hit edit, and you're going to get this world right here. Cool beans. Let's go ahead and build it out so that we have a leaderboard for our area of effect, for our explosion area of effect, and we can get credit for those kills. So this video here, it works pretty well. We can blow things up by clicking on them, but we want to make the explosions more accurate. Let's just go to starter player and then starter player scripts. This is where my click boom loc is for the local script. All right, so let me get rid of this. We have more area. Basically what I do is I click on something, I get the item, and then I send the item to the server for the explosion, and then it just goes in the center of the item. The explosion does. But that doesn't work with real big items. That's why I did not have the base plate. So let's get rid of that. Boom. Let's go and get rid of the whole if statement. And what we're going to do is we're going to pass in the mouse hit, right? So the mouse hit is a C frame. It can give you the exact position of where you clicked on something in the world. This is going to make more accurate explosions. We're going to have a better leaderboard. Cool. So when this remote event, this is a click RE remote event. It is in replicated storage. It's going to fire. And then in server script service, we're going to hit this click boom. And that's where our explosion happens. See, we capture the remote event right here, right? And then we call explode things. Well, right here, explode things, I'm going to do a scan area function and find all my players and non-playing characters within that area so we can credit for kills. I'm going to have a player. I'm going to pass in. I am going to actually change this variable to hit so that it makes it's more easy to remember what it is. Right, so we got the hit right here. We'll pass in the position on a hit. It'll work with item. It's just that an item is different than a hit, and it might mess people up if they're trying to look at our code. All right, and then we'll do blast radius. Do we need blast radius? Yeah, let's do blast radius. We don't have a variable for blast radius. We have to make it. Blast radius. This is our blast radius down here, right? Copy, Control C, boom. Let's make it global to the script. Blast radius. And that way I'm gonna make that bigger. I can like have game passes. If I break it out into a variable, I wanna make a game pass so that you can increase your blast radius. So that'll be needed. All right, what do we need to do here? Oh, we don't have the scan area. We just go ahead and copy this. Control C, what I do? Copy that, Control C, and let's make our function for scan area, local function, scan area. Let's change this to a variable. Let's call this click position, click POS. And what should we do here? Let's get a player list. We don't want to go through the whole workspace looking for things to blow up or looking for things to credit. We want this to be faster. So I'm going to get a player list, and I'm going to get that from the player service, game get service, players. I'm going to get all the players, get children. Oh, and then let's do one for NPCs. So NPC list, workspace. We don't have this. We're going to make a folder for NPCs, and that's going to get children. Cool. Let's go ahead and make that folder so I don't forget and get an error. Control C, just so they're spelled the same. Workspace, hit the plus, folder, rename folder to NPCs, get our two zombies, drag it into NPCs. Cool. All right. So So let's do some for loops for our different lists. So we'll say for I and V in pairs. This will be the player list. Do. We're going to do another one for the NPC list. Control C, Control V. Let's call this NPC list. NPC list. That one. Cool. Now players and NPCs are a little bit different. That's why I do 2 for loops. I need to get the character from the player first. Here, these are just characters, so that's going to be easy. Here, these are going to be players. V will be the player. I is just going to be a counter. It'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, stuff like that. So we'll say local. Let's get the character from V, which is a player. We're going to loop through all the players. V dot character or V dot character. Yeah, character added. Wait, just in case they're spawning in the world or something, into our blast radius. And then I'm going to make a common function for both of these for loops so we don't duplicate code. Let's call that function tag char in area. We're going to make a creator tag. We're going to use the creator tag pattern. We'll pass in the player. That's who's going to get credit for the kill. Pass in the character. That's the character to tag. We're actually going to tag their humanoid. We're going to pass in the click position, and we're going to do the blast radius. Cool. We didn't make that yet, but let's go ahead and copy this. Control C, paste that down here. Now we don't have to get the character because V is a character, but we do, Control C, have to change this character to V. All right, let's go ahead and make tag char in area. Local function, paste it. Oh, it's a V. Let's go ahead and copy it. Control C. Boom, paste it. And what do we do for that? We need the humanoid root part for the position of the character that we want to charge, that we want to credit. All right, so we'll say find first child. It's humanoid root part. All right, so that's the guy dying. I know I didn't say that very good. That's the guy dying. We need to have his position. We need to compare it with the click position. We need to see if he's in the blast radius. All right, so this is also the guy dying. This is his humanoid. This is the thing we're going to tag on the character, right? So we'll say char, find first child, humanoid. Did I spell that right? Humanoid, yep. Cool. Let's check to see if they exist. People are exploding. A lot of weird things are happening, so one might not exist. There we go. If the HRP exists and the humanoid exists, then let's get the position of the HRP. Whoops, dot position. Then let's find the distance between the click position and the HRP. So we'll say click position minus position and magnitude. Magnitude is the distance between them, right? So these are 2 3-dimensional points in space. And then the magnitude is the distance between those 2 points. So then we'll say if distance is less than blast radius, and blast radius isn't exact because there's an attenuation effect that happens outside the blast radius where things still might die. So let's go like an additional 5 studs out. I'm sure it depends on the blast pressure. You'll have to play with that to get some more accuracy, but this will work pretty well. Right, I think I had 4 in my video. Let's do 4. You can increase it if you start seeing you don't get credits for people who are a little bit outside of your blast radius. All right, and then what else are we going to do? Oh, now we're going to do the untag humanoid. So if we have somebody else who got hit but didn't die, they might still have a tag on them. So let's untag them so we get the credit when they die, right? Then we'll do a tag humanoid. The humanoid to get tagged and the player to get the credit. Player, there we go. All right, let's find these. And I did not invent these. These are Roblox, all the Roblox classic weapons have these functions, or at least most of them. Let's go to our toolbox. Here's a Roblox sword right here, I think. It is by Roblox. Cool. All right. We could dig around that sword and try and find it, or we can do a Control Shift F to do a global search. We'll do tag hum. Look at that. There's mine right here. Click boom. There is the sword one. Let's double click. Perfect. Get rid of that. Copy this. Control C. So we need the tag and the untag. Click boom. Paste. I made these lowercase, right? So make sure they're spelled the same. I'm just going to go ahead and make a lowercase t. I was a Java programmer, so we make our methods lowercase. We call them functions here, and debris, we don't have a debris service. I'm going to make that lowercase too, since I'm messing with it. Boom. And then I'll just make a variable for it. Local debris game get service. Not that. Debris is a service. So the debris service will destroy the creator tag after 2 seconds. If you look at this creator tag, we're making an object value. We're naming it creator. Remember that because we've got to search for it in the died event. We're putting the player that did the explosion in the value, and that way when we find it, we can give them credit. And then we're parenting the creator tag to the humanoid. Basically, we're attaching it to the humanoid when they're in the blast zone. When they die, they will register that event. They will see who killed them. Boom, you got credit. Oh, look at that. I spelled local wrong. Local. I always do that, don't I? All right, this is done. Let's see if I got any errors. It's looking good. Let's go ahead and get credit for our kills. We need a leaderboard. We need a leaderboard that looks for creator tags. Server script service. Script. Leader stats. Cool. Local function add board player. All right, and then we're going, I got caps lock on, hit the caps lock. Local board instance new. It could be a folder or a model. Parented to the player, so we're going to attach it to the player. Board name equals leader stats. Local kills instance new. It's an int value. The parent is the board. Kills name. Kills capital. Cool. Then we'll do local deaths equals instance new. Int value. Board will be the parent. Deaths name will be, deaths. Cool. Now, when we enter the game players, the player service will fire a player added event. We'll connect it to this function. Player will get passed in. We're going to add the board, pass in the player. Then the player is going to have a character added event. We will connect that to this internal function inside that. It's going to get kind of deep here. All right, when we got that, what else are we going to do? We need the died event. Oh, so we need the humanoid for the died event, right? So the character we'll do a find first child. No, let's do a wait for child. Right, because they could be entering the world. The humanoid might not be ready. Humanoid. Cool. And then the humanoid will have a died event. Died. And we'll connect that to this function here. Nothing will get passed in the parameter list. The humanoid may or may not have a tag on it, so let's look for a tag. Hum, find first child. And remember, it's called creator, right? So if the tag exists and the tag has a value, just in case something weird happens, then the person who put the tag, because we're dying, right, will be the enemy player, right? They're going to get the credit for that. So the tag value will be the enemy player. The enemy player leader stats kills value should be incremented. That plus equals 1 will increment it. All right. We did die 2, so our players leader stats deaths value should be incremented by 1. So this is for players. We need to do this for zombies too, or for any NPCs. Let's copy this. Control C, copy. Let's go to our NPC folder, get a zombie. Let's add a script. Let's call that script death event. Boom, death event. Cool beans. Control V. We don't have the character. Hold on, let's go ahead and make a character. Well, get the character, make a character variable. Local char script.parent. And then they are not a player, so their deaths will not be incremented on the leaderboard. Just the person who killed them right here. Cool. Let's go ahead and copy that. Control C. Copy death event. Put it in the other zombie. There it is, drooling zombie. Paste into. Now they both have death event scripts. Let's try this thing out. Here they come. Boom. There's one. Let's see if we can get both of us. Boom. We did. And I got a death too. That's pretty cool. You don't get credit for trees, but you can blow them up because it's fun. All right. Good luck with that. And I will see you in the next video.